Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Kaii to Otome, episode 7, in which we will probably face the Fen Ni Xiao, something like that. Tomoko. I'm just gonna say Tomoko, because currently the Fen Ni Xiao seems to be inhabiting her body. In the previous episode, In the previous episode, Otto was very set on helping their newly met friend, and of course, her brother was having none of that because he's very protective of her. Yeah, he denied her getting involved, but then he figured that, yeah, it's probably not gonna work. She's probably gonna go on her own. So let's at least have Sumireko go with her as a little bit of protection. And so Sumireko and Otto both went to look for clues. They met Shizuku and asked her about details about Tomoko, what places she was frequenting, what people she knew, etc., etc. They checked all of those leads and they led to basically nothing. Only to that, Tomoko wasn't particularly sociable, but was still well liked by all the people she met, so kind of, something a little bit odd, maybe, a little bit going on there. Eventually, Otto went to Shizuku's workplace, which is a maid cafe, where Shizuku is apparently like the head maid or something. And they decided, they meaning Shizuku's coworkers, right? They were in a situation where one of the employees bailed on them. They needed a replacement. Otto was perfect for that. She worked with them for a little bit and had a chance to have a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Shizuku. Shizuku says that all sorts of people already tried to help her find Tomoko, but they would just get easily discouraged. They would just, stop caring eventually, stuff like that. So she was happy that Otto wasn't one of them, that Otto actually wants to find her friend and actually, has full intent to do that and isn't just saying that for the sake of saying that, for the sake of, feeling good about herself. So she was comfortable sharing a little bit more information about her and Tomoko's past. And as we learn, they both came from bad homes. So they moved out very early together. They got themselves a some place to live, some flat apartment or something. Before that, they were and even after that, they were struggling, right? Getting their furniture from garbage dump. They were eating a single cup of ramen diluted for two people, etc., etc. But they were close knit. Tomoko had a dream of becoming a who? A oh fuck, what's it called? Like a makeup artist or something like that, right? Something along those lines. And so she was pursuing that goal, going to the school, and eventually they separated. They went their two separate ways. But one day, Tomoko called Shizuku and said that she wants to celebrate her getting her first job. So they met after years of not speaking, and they had some nice times together. They had fun, they had some drinks, and that was last when Shizuku saw her friend. So we get a little bit more backstory. I don't know if it's going to be relevant at all. We'll see. And at the same time, Ren discovered the nature of the Fenni Xiao, or rather discovered that the monster they're dealing with is Fenni Xiao, which is a legend of people just randomly going somewhere, disappearing for some time, and then getting found perfectly safe and sound, apparently being led to that place by a person clad in red. Problem is, as Sumireko discovered, the current Fen Nishao that we're dealing with is not the original Fen Nishao. It's the same legend, but modified heavily by people who deemed it to not be scary enough for, telling of scary stories, courage tests, and shit like that. So they spiced the legend up a little bit, and now Fen Nishao is actually killing people and taking their place. And Sumireko's findings confirm that, because every time a new person disappears because of Fen Nishao, some other person turns up, but dead, not alive. So that's bad. That's very bad. It also means that the Fen Nishao is something kind of sort of like a skinwalker, I guess. That's my current running theory. It takes over a person, then leads that person somewhere, then ditches that person after some time to find a new body, and that old body gets then gets found out. And Otto with Shizuku are at the maid cafe at like the upper floor, and they hear knocking on the heaven's door. Who could it be? It's the door that leads to the roof. Well, it's Tomoko. Fen Nishao Tomoko. And that's where the episode cut off. So today they're probably going to face her. Hopefully she can be saved. Hopefully she can be rescued. We'll see how it goes. It's not really a given, although so far, like, every single case had a good ending, right? Sumireko got a good ending, Manami Sensei got a good ending as well, right? She was saved, she was rescued after all of her victims eventually got a good ending, right? So I have a feeling that maybe Tomoko also has a chance to be rescued. We'll see about that. Oh, and Otto was also saying goodbyes to Nodoka, which kind of leads me to believe that Nodoka might be the next Fen Nishao. That if they exorcise the spirit, the skinwalker, out of Tomo's body, the skinwalker is going to take over Nodoka. Maybe. We'll see about that. We'll see about that in this episode, but to do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 7 of Kaii to Otome in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, a little bit more backstory. Okay, so she did have friends at least. That's good. I thought that she might have been shunned by her peers as well. Yeah, she eventually does become shunned. Not by her peers. Oh, yeah, by her peers as well. Sure. Amazing. Didn't even have the courtesy to, turn off the sound. Less and less allowance. Allowance? Pocket money. And I guess that's when she met Tomoko. Or that's when she warmed up to Tomoko because she was the only one to notice her, to want to associate with her, right? Probably. She might have been in similar circumstances, also being a neglected child, and they bonded over that. Yeah, probably. What is this thing? Looks like a plushie with some needles stuck in it, like a voodoo doll. Could it be the next arc? Like a voodoo plushie? Maybe. Yeah, we still haven't seen the Maho Shoujo outside of whatchamacallit, outside of I think Nodoka, looking at videos with her on like a tablet or something, right? Yeah, don't open. Don't dead open inside. Oh! Okay, what's up with the elevator, though? Wouldn't you be safer inside, though? Isn't the legend that it only kidnaps your body when you let it in? Oh, is it like when they explicitly open a window or a door? So if you leave it open and you go through that, but don't, open it in the process because it already was open, that's your. Yeah, that's. Yep. That's how you can get out. Oh, a chimera? Right. Okay, so multiple different legends were kind of merged into a single one. Okay, that makes sense. Hmm. Okay, so like a genie. Kinda, I mean, depending on the legends. Hmm. Hmm. That's a good question. Oh, so it's not like we can exercise the Funni Xiao and free Tomoko? Oh, she's going to answer the door and she's going to get replaced willingly. Yep. If that can free my friend, then I'm going to sacrifice myself. Yeah? Okay. She wants to see her no matter what. Problem is, it's targeting Otto. So is it actually going to go for Shizuku? Or is it going to completely bypass her and go for Otto? Oh, is Tomoko also neglected, but like in a different way, where it's her parents were never home rather than throwing her out? Probably. Still a friend, though. One of many, sure, but still a friend. Beautician, yeah. Not a makeup artist, a beautician. Oh, I thought that maybe uh, fire extinguishers have some like anti-ghost properties or something, and she's going to, Ghostbusters the Fenxiao. Hmm, nobody's here. Just a chair. What, you sit down and you get whisked away, or... Oh, right, there was something about the promise of a haircut, right? Yeah, there was. I mean, you did find her one way or another. No reflection? It's just in her head. I don't feel so good. And there's the sign. Hmm. Footsteps. Oh? You got some way? Oh, of course. Yeah, and he probably shouldn't be doing that, should he? Oh? Uh, what? Yeah. So another curiosity mixed in. Okay. Another one. Okay. That's the Siscon for you. Yeah. So how do we drive it away then? Ticket? Yeah. It is. Yes, this. You've seen plenty, my girl. You lived an urban legend. Yeah, the scissors. Is this a curiosity that can be exchanged for a ticket? Cursed object. Different than a curiosity? Oh, that's the plushie with needles. Bearer of youth. Is it really that scary? Or is it like a, you know, physiological reaction almost to the collector of curiosities by a curiosity? Okay, what's going on? What's like the system here? Oh, that's cool. Like things are merging with the wall. Huh. Yeah, less talking, more train riding. Hmm. At 344, is this a significant number? I wonder. I know that 4 is she, death. So 444 would be like death, death, death. But 344? 333 also makes sense because it's like half a 666. 616 also makes sense because it's an alternative translation of 666. Yeah, you are besties, girl. Okay, so what's this train ride supposed to achieve exactly? I still wonder. That's a lot of people. Yeah, you had quite an adverse reaction. Oh, interesting. Looking at them through the noose, huh? Is it a train of dead people? Of all the souls who are currently moving to the other world? Oh, they're sending the Fen Nishao away while Shizuku stays. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, all those cursed entities have some sort of a desire to go back. Or rather, yeah, the world is desperate to get rid of them. And this train is one of the ways to get rid of them. Is this how you and your sister were expelled from your original world? And that's the little Red Riding Hood. I thought she's the Fen Nishao, but is she a different thing? What do you mean stay alive? He's getting smothered. It should have been me, not him. Yep. It went for a train ride. Ogawa no ne-san. Not Ogawa ne-san, but Ogawa no ne-san. Interesting. If you know more about how Japanese honorifics and stuff work, then let me know what's the difference between like Ogawa ne-san and Ogawa no ne-san. Is it like a difference between actual sister and honorary sister? Something like that? And he did use his eyes, didn't he? He lied about using the thing. Oh, not a blood brother. Hmm. Are there, though? I mean, there already is Shizuku who needs her. There's you who needs her. There is her friends from her school who need her. I really think that the like big overarching lesson here at the end or near the end, maybe not of this show, but of the series as a whole, will genuinely be that, I don't need to go to the original world Renni. I have people who want me, who need me here. I'd rather stay here with my friends than go to my home world where I'm not even sure if I was needed. I'm needed here. I really have a strong suspicion that's exactly what we're going for here. Interesting to hear that Ren hasn't slept or hasn't eaten. I wonder why. Is he keeping watch? Is he unable to sleep in another world and unable to eat the food of another world? I wonder. I wonder. A book, an affair, and a mermaid. Oh, we've seen her in the opening. Who's she? Is she one of Otto's friends from school? No, she's not. I don't think so. I think we've only seen her in the opening. We'll see. Right now, we're gonna see this episode again. And the sky got overcast, so I should adjust. There we go. Yeah, Tomoko was the extrovert, Shizuku was the introvert, and also a neglected child who was given, like, what, 1,000 yen, I think, and just kicked out of the house for a day because her mother was whoring herself out. Staying at some friends' places, yeah. Thinking that they want her there, thinking that those are her friends. But it turns out they claim she was a nuisance. Like, she was still willing to accommodate her. They were still willing to give her some food and stuff, but but talking badly about her behind her back. And now she has even less allowance, doesn't she? Yeah, that's like 40, 50, 60, 70 yen, something like that. It can buy you, I don't know, a ramune, maybe, and nothing more. Where's the new girl? Yeah, this is a new girl. And there was also the one with long black hair. Get out of the building. Right, so the trick is to get out of the building through the door that aren't being knocked at. Because if you do, then you're not technically answering the knocking, you're just going out. So the Fennixiao is not going to take you. The shutters are closed specifically so that it has something to bang on, so that if you open them, then you are answering the call. That's a sneaky little curiosity, isn't it? Fennixiao, yeah. Fennixiao. Fennixiao. Attacks whoever answers its knocking. And yeah, that's why Otto was targeted. But why was she not targeted, immediately after answering the door? But rather only now? Why the delay? Chimera of several curiosities. Right, it often happens with legends, right? People are, take multiple different legends and they kind of merge them together into another one because it's just what happens. That's how legends and stuff are born. I mean, how many deities from Egypt or whatever, even during the existence of Egypt, even during the existence of their religion and active cultivation of it, multiple deities would, merge into a single one, then get separated into three more, and just, it was a constant state of flux, constant state of change, because, we have a goddess of morning and we have the goddess of sun, so might as well make her the goddess of the morning sun, and we have just one singular deity, because the roles are very similar, their traits are very similar, so they just kind of become one and the same god in people's collective consciousness. The same happens with legends, right? Like, I don't know, people conflate drowners with vodniks or whatever other combination, right? Meanwhile, they're two completely different monsters from, well, not different legends, but two completely different entities, but with similar traits, so people just conflate them. The same happens with all the legends and curiosities. Makes sense. I actually enjoy the aspect of legends not being, defined strictly, that there is the legend of Hanako-san, and that's it. That's the legend of Hanako-san. It's been here since the fucking 70s, and it continues in its own exact shape. No. Maybe there is another legend of a drowned, of a girl who drowned in a school bathroom, and they get conflated into a single one, right? Stuff like that. I like it. Yeah, adding the element of rain and the shuigui. One more characteristic. TC Gui. Death swap. Right. It kills a person, that person becomes it, and it itself gets freed. Sure. Makes sense. Makes more sense than my initial belief that it was a skinwalker, I guess. And I mentioned similarity to genes. Genes, genies, whatever. I can't remember what particular legend talked about it, but and what are the conditions. But there was something that if you wish to free a genie, or if you make all of your wishes, then you become the genie while the genie gets freed. And then you have to find another sucker who would be willing to free you so that you can be freed while that sucker gets confined to the bottle, or right? There's something like that. I can't quite recall where exactly it's coming from, but I distinctly remember that. The murdered human then becomes a new Shuigui looking for a fresh victim. Indeed. Similar to Shichinin Misaki, there's fucking 9 different curiosities, 9 different urban legends just merged into one. Group of 7 vengeful ghosts who always act together. Yeah. And you get killed, you join their ranks, meanwhile the oldest one gets freed. Tomoko-san is already dead. I was really expecting her to be freed. I'ma be honest. I really expected it to go better, but that was when I still believe that it's a skinwalker kind of situation. But if she did just become the curiosity, then there's not really undoing it, is there? Also, Tomoko was not in the opening, so that kind of gives away that she's not going to be a character. Otto got really attached to Shizuku, I noticed, and I'm not sure where exactly it's coming from. I really don't think they had enough time spent together to form this sort of a bond. I really don't think that. Maybe it's something just, skipped in the adaptation and they really had much more time to spend with each other, or maybe Shizuku reminds Otto of someone, or she just gets easily attached or something like that. But currently, yeah, kind of hard to understand Otto's attachment for me right now. And yeah, of course, Shizuku made up her mind. Tomoko was her only, like, actual proper friend who clothed her, fed her, you know, housed her even, probably. Like, if Tomoko's parents were missing for a week on some, I don't know, work delegation in Vietnam, then she would probably allow Shizuku to stay for the night, right? She seems to be this kind of a person. For you, I was just one friend among many. Have you seen other people staying at her house, though? And yeah, and Shizuku is willing to sacrifice herself if that means helping her friend, because her friend saved her life, so she's willing to do the exact same, sacrificing her life. Like, she essentially believes that you saved my life, so I'm willing to give it up for you, kind of sort of deal. You gave me my life, so I can just give it back to you. It's not really saving Tomoko's life, it's being able to see her one last time and freeing her from whatever, you know, is going on here. But still, that's a very pretty scene. And finally getting the haircut from Tomoko. I'm glad that they actually got a moment like that. Tomoko in her, you know, regular, normal human form, having some nice, close moment of cutting her hair. I was afraid that Tomoko is just going to take a monstrous shape and lurch at Shizuku's throat or something, and Shizuku was hoping to meet her friend one last time, but no, she doesn't even look like Tomoko, she doesn't even behave like Tomoko, there's nothing left of Tomoko in it. But no, they get this nice bit of closure. It's nice. It's nice. I will set you free, and set her free she did. This is a really cool effect. I really like this effect. Her dissolving, then an explosion at an angle, and this warning sign appears. I really like the oomph of it. And the sound is amazing here. I really like the appearance of the sign. I really do. Calling for Renni. And Renni is here. I mean, you called for him, you called for his help. You should have realized that if it is about helping you, then he is willing to use anything at his disposal, including and not limited to his eyes. So it's kind of, you know, Renni, help! Oh no, Renni is going to help, right? Your eyes. Apparently he didn't use them. I wonder though. Mosin A, that carries people into the mountains, and that got somehow conflated with Hanako-san through the color red. I don't know if it's just a bullshit explanation that he gives, like an excuse, like, oh, yo, yeah, it was totally Hanako-san. I totally just used this paper and not my eyes. No. I would not use my eyes, sister of mine. I would not risk it for, you know, for that. I know how much you dislike me using my eyes, yada yada. Or is it actually that the perfect test score actually works on this curiosity because it actually has some traits of a Hanako-san? Temporarily held at bay. I'm always in awe at the angles in this show. A ticket. It is the mysterious station. Yes, this. Kisaragi station indeed. Scissors are cursed, apparently. It's quite lively here today. Mysterious disappearances. What does the news mean by mysterious disappearances here? Like, it's the name of the place? the name of like this window, like lost and found, but it's just disappeared, lost and disappeared, disappeared and found, something like that. I don't know. Bearer of youth. It has a very big effect on Sumireko. It's not just mere fear, it's not just mere, oh shit, there's a bloodied noose hanging there. No, there is some visceral reaction to it. I wonder whether it's because it's something so terribly inhuman that it's essentially eldritch. If a normal human sees it, they just lose their mind completely. And that's the effect it has on humans. Is it maybe lessened because Sumireko is herself a curiosity? Or perhaps is the effect so strong precisely because she is a curiosity? The window, the noose, is a collector of curiosities, so curiosities are afraid of it at an instinctual level, and so is Sumireko. I wonder. Newly formed cursed object, not a pure one, won't take you as far as your desired destination. Yeah, all that matters is that it takes as far as possible. That's dope. I really like it. It's not just, randomly thrown away assets. No, they're merged with the walls. They're growing out of each other. I really, really like this imagery. I really do. It's like a, impossible space almost. Train approaching. Yeah. Honey Xiao possessed you and you disappeared. The station is a curiosity that connects to another world. Okay, so the station itself is a curiosity then. If we make sure only the Honi Xiao gets on the train, then yeah, okay. So you can bring someone who's possessed onto the station, and whatever is possessing them will board the train and depart while the possessed person stays behind. Gotcha. I wonder, couldn't they have done something like that to Tomoko? Or is it a matter of, it takes time to fully transform into a Honi Xiao, and Tomoko was already well past that point where she would just be whisked away entirely, leaving nothing behind? I don't know. They all told me the same thing. Yeah, she went out to eat with Shizuku. She was always talking about the things she did with a girl named Shizuku. Yeah, you were besties. And she left the scissors, which allowed for your freedom. And the station is surprisingly normal. Yeah, I couldn't understand what it was saying. It was something so terribly inhuman that we're better off living our lives without knowing, if possible. Who are these people? Probably the departing souls. Probably the souls of all of the people who have died this day, maybe, in Japan, all crammed onto this train, departing the world. That would be my bet. Is this some special power that Otto has? She hasn't used her eyes. So I wonder if they have, like, different powers that have something to do with curiosities. Like, Ren can reflect curiosities with his gaze. Meanwhile, Otto can, like, rip curiosities out of their bodies by holding on to them or something like that. Or could Ren have done the same, maybe? They are impurities that don't belong here, so the world itself is desperate to get rid of such foreign objects. I like the concept of world being somewhat sentient, like, or maybe not even sentient, but alive in the same way like an organism is alive. It sees a foreign body and it tries to expel it. as fast as possible. And if not, then it tries to isolate it. Essentially an immune response to a piece of gravel stuck under your skin, right? I really like this concept. It really does beg a question: why were Ren and Otto expelled from their original world? Were they also deemed unneeded, unnecessary? Or were they deemed detrimental? Yeah, this station was brought into existence in order to expel these unneeded foreign bodies from this world. Who's she? I thought that she's the Fen Nixiao, and they're going to, I don't know, do a soul blast or whatever on Tomoko, and Tomoko's body is gonna stay, and this girl is gonna materialize behind because she's the Fen Nixiao. But apparently not. Apparently she's like a completely different thing. She's clad in red, though. Is she another Fen Nixiao? Or is she something similar? Is she Hanako-san? I don't know. We'll see. Cursed objects serve as the fare, and our home is at the very end of this line. Right, so you need a lot of cursed objects to pay for the fare. That's our goal as siblings. Nesan. Ogawa no Nesan. I know that no is like an adjective combiner thing, right? Like you say, I don't know, Angias no tea. That means it's like my tea that belongs to me, right? It like denotes, you know, an adjective of this tea being of mine is done with no, right? Color no apple, the color of an apple, something like that. So Ogawa no Nesan would be like Ogawa who is a Nesan, rather than like an calling her outright Ogawa Nesan, Sister Ogawa, right? Rather it's Ogawa who is like a sister to me, rather than Sister Ogawa. Something like that? Did I get it right? I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't know Japanese, just you know, for clarity. I just know the basics. Oni-chan yada hasukashi. And that's where it ends. I felt like I should live enough for Tomoko to... Okay, so we get another friend in our group. I wonder if she sticks around or just goes away to do her own thing. You're not her brother by blood. Interesting, to say nothing of not even being human. Is Otto human, though? You're just a sham of a monster. Oh, I know where I heard something similar. Mahotsukai no Yome, right? Elias is also called a failure of a monster, but also a failure of a human. Neither a human nor a monster. I wonder if Ren is something similar, or is he a sham of a monster because he's a monster who associates with humans willingly? Like, Otto is a human, ultimately, from a different world. Ren is not even a human, he's a monster who took shape of a human, and instead of preying on humans, he's helping them. Or at least helping Otto. Worth noting down. Worth noting down, I say. There we go, mysterious disappearances. Ren is not a human. Otto is. Ren is a sham of a monster because he decided to help a human instead of hunting it down, or whatever it is that humans do with, or whatever it is that monsters do with humans in the alternative world. I really am curious. Like, this episode really, this scene in particular really elevated my curiosity. How many years has it been since you slept? Why can he not sleep? Because nightmares, or because he will disappear? Do you remember the last time you ate? Can he not find sustenance in this world? Or is it something like a Persephone, where if he eats something of this world, then he is bound to it forever? Or something like that. Ren not sleeping or eating is important. Has there been even the briefest moment in which your suffering has eased? Why is he suffering? Because the lack of sleep and food? Or because he is an unwanted existence in this world and the world tries to excise him, but he's staying for Otto? The world is constantly trying to expel Ren, but he stays for Otto. Could be, that's why he's suffering, that's why he can't sleep, that's why he can't eat, that's why he's in a bad shape, and perhaps even unable to fully regenerate. Soon you'll be worn down to nothing for your sister's sake and disappear. What's that behind? That's just rubble. I thought that it's maybe like Tokyo Tower or something. But no, it's just rubble. Whether you have a ticket or not, there's no station to which you can return. Right, so even if Ren wanted to return to a different station, even if he wanted to return with Otto to their world, he's unable to. So his plan is probably to get one ticket for Otto, pretend that he got another, get to the station, push Otto onto the train, wave for her, and send her away, while himself not boarding and then disappearing because he did what he was set off to. Probably his plan. I'm gonna note down Ren arc. Maybe about trying to save him somehow, trying to adjust him to this world, trying to have him stay, convince him to not destroy himself, something like that, maybe. There's no station to which you can return. Even so, that girl deserves to go home. Otto really is just a lost child. There are people waiting for her, looking for her. Are there, though? Wasn't it said in one of the previous episodes that you both were essentially just, unwanted and expelled from your world? Like, there's nobody looking for you, nobody waiting for you. Wasn't that something that was said? I'm going to prove that she isn't someone that no one needs. Here's the thing, though. There already are people who need her. She already established herself pretty damn strongly in this world. She has friends. She has essentially found family, right? She probably has her dreams and aspirations. She has her, I guess you could say, job, finding curiosities and stuff like that, right? There are people who need her. Like, I know Nodoka would be very sad if Otto were to not appear at school one day, right? So it's kind of it seems to be like a one-track mind a little bit on Ren's part. Like they were expelled from their original world or whatever happened, and he got it into his head that yeah, we need to get Otto back to that world because people who care about her might be in that world. And that might have been true early on, right? When they were still not established in this world. They didn't have documents. Otto wasn't attending school. They were just living at the station of cup ramen and whatever. Then sure, this sort of an existence is miserable and it probably would be better for Otto to go back. But it's not the case anymore, I don't think. But Ren doesn't see that. He created this goal early on when it would have actually been a good thing to send Otto back. But is it a good thing to do that anymore? Or is it better for Otto to stay? Right? The end. And the next episode is A Book, an Affair, and a Mermaid. Is this the underwear girl? I don't know, I'm not sure. Alright. Right, you're right. There we go. So, that was episode 7 of Mysterious Disappearances. And I enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the resolution. It could have been worse. Could have been better if we were to actually save Tomoko. But seeing how that was impossible, I'm glad that Shizuka at least got her closure. She at least got to see Tomoko one last time, that she herself was rescued, right? That we get another member of the gang, another friend for Otto, right? Another person who needs her, another person who wants her, right? Another antithesis to the very, the very thing that Ren bases his entire work on. Right? So that's cool. That's good. I'm digging the backstory though. The not backstory as in backstory to Otto and Ren, because we really don't know much about it. But like the story in the back, the story on like the lower level, because on the surface, on the upper level, we're, looking for the curiosities, going around, hunting them down, yada, yada, yada. That's fun and all. But what is really interesting to me is the, lower level. The ways that curiosities even work, how they get created, how they get merged and melded together, how there are, different stations going between places, how there is a talking noose, how the world itself expels the foreign bodies in the shape of curiosities, or right? I really find it immensely appealing. It's like properly eldritch, It really is properly eldritch, where there is no full and proper understanding of it. There is no full and proper mechanics. It's not necessarily that you can, get a weird counter thing and measure that, oh yeah, this curiosity emits 15 millisieverts of curious energy, so that's gonna give us 500 yen or whatever. No, you give a curiosity to the noose, and the news tells you, well, you can go 3 stations with that, or something like that, right? There are no... It's not gamified, I guess you could say. And it's also eldritch in a way where it's just something beyond comprehension. Like, world expelling unneeded people. That's kind of, incomprehensible. How could that happen? Why would it happen? Who is exactly unneeded? How does it work exactly? Are worlds sentient, or is it like a immune response or what's going on there. It's not eldritch in a way where plenty of like modern media tends to portray eldritchness in tentacles and eyes showing in the darkness. Those are like the two ultimate imageries, right? Someone opens the door, behind the door is just darkness with eyes opening with like purple sclera or whatever, and dark tentacles get out, and that's supposed to be an eldritch or horror. No, that's not eldritch horror. Fucking talking noose. That's an eldritch horror. With a seal plushie underneath, with fields of rubble behind it, telling you to bring it cursed objects so it can give you a train ride to the other world. That's proper eldritch, and I love it. I love the like underlying world building of this show the most, and I hope we take a deep dive into it eventually. But even if we don't, then the way of world building that they're doing right now, where they give us bits and pieces with like every episode, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit somewhere else, that's also cool. That's also very cool in my book. So good shit is what I'm trying to say. I'm really, 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 really enjoying this series. I think that's gonna be it. So how about you guys though? Did you enjoy this episode? Did you enjoy my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? Say so. Tell me all about it in the comments down below. What did you think of that? No spoilers, of course. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos. Not only Kaii to Otome, but also Yuuki, Yuuna, the finale is already up on Patreon, just so you know. Kaiju number 8. Unnamed Memory, Sentai Daishkaku, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, for example. Episodes 11 and 12 are already up on there, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly through YouTube via membership, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Serena, Yuuki, Ala, Ishtamu, Dr. Takama, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to pick up rusty scissors.